This is an appeal to heaven, to our Creator, to all beings of love and light to assist us here to not only overcome, but overwhelm the forces of energy that seem determined to repress us, our lives, our very spirits. As children of your divine creation, we recognize we need assistance. We need more to awaken to the truth of the injustices, and we need them to take action with us to alter or destroy the systems that are establishing as school policy, as public policy, as equity policy, and all notions of minds willing to bend our free will into conformity to theirs. We will not. Our will is thy will. And so long as we are honoring our free will spirit, a spirit born with unalienable rights to express our creative, compassionate, intelligent selves, then we choose to exert our free divine selves in defiance of any authority any choose to impose. Let this be so. And so it is.
Thank you, Charlie. My name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jure Assembly. I'd like to go over this just a little bit. Here's a picture of it in newsprint. Outstanding. As you can see, it's the Oregon de Jure Journal, Volume 1, Issue 1, January 2025. I like the way all of the articles are highlighted in yellow. Makes them stand out. We've got one by Laura Runyon. We got one by Eric Dover, MD. We've got a really nice one here by Thomas and Tamara. I watched the sunrise. It was beautiful. I heard a baby giggle. It was joyful. I walked in the garden and smelled the flowers. It was peaceful. I received a hug. I felt loved. I listened to the sound of the ocean. It was powerful yet calming. I sat with my toes in the sand. I felt the energy of the earth. I listened to the voices of my family and friends. I cherished the sound. I thought of all the gifts that God gives me, and I am grateful. I am grateful. On the back page, we've got another one here. Kim Swiger wrote an article for us. Oh, and we have our recommendation of what we think the Oregon Sheriff's oath should be like. Let me read it. Oath for County Sheriff. For the peace, safety, and happiness of the souls of the men and women and their progeny on Oregon. Then there's a space for his name or her name. Elected as chief executive and conservator of the peace of the people of our county, do solemnly swear or affirm my duty as sheriff for whatever county on Oregon to support, uphold, and defend and enforce original jurisdiction in the Constitution, both circa 1859. And I pledge to apply Oregon's lawful statutes and ordinances with compassion and in all of my conduct Do so with honesty and dedication to the laws of nature and nature's God. I can't imagine why anybody would take umbrage with that and not wish to have an oath that contained that information. Seems reasonable to me. Off the Grid Adventure by Kim. I saw Sam wrote one on the first page here. Case law, codes, and travel. Yes.
Also, the open letter from Thomas is on the back above the oath certificate.
You want to read part of that or all of it?
I'd be happy to. To all law enforcement personnel, state police, county sheriffs, deputies, city police, as well as all military personnel of the armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and National Guard, protecting and serving the American people. As a fellow American, I am asking you to please listen and seriously consider what I am about to tell you. We, as American people, that is you, we, have been lied to all our lives. For over 160 years, our nation has been controlled and run by fraudulent and corrupt corporations that have set themselves up to appear to be the government. This is a lie. They are money-making enterprises, corporations determined to enslave and control the American people under the color of law. These corporations are titled United States of America, Incorporated, State of Oregon, Incorporated. All the states of the states are corporations. County of Yamhill, Incorporated. City of McMinnville, Incorporated. Yamhill County Sheriff Department, Incorporated. McMinnville Fire Bureau, Incorporated. These corrupt and fraudulent money-making corporations are designed to enslave, manipulate, and control the American people by appearing to be our government. These corporations are not the Republican form of common law government guaranteed in our original, the Constitution for the United States of America. Though acting in our original, the Constitution of the United States, though acting as representing or protecting the people, they are little more than corporations designed to engage in international commerce. The people behind these corporations have fraudulently manipulated the American people into believing that the corporations are the government. That is a lie. The truth is that the government lives in the American people. Many states are now back in assembly. Our true government of the people, by the people, and for the people is being reestablished. We are the people assembled. Our republic is designed to be run by the people from the bottom up, not from the top down. Our true government is being reestablished, and your help is needed. It takes knowledge of our true history as a nation and of the evil forces that intentionally craft and design nations and their cultures. You are the bodies that are to serve and enforce our true laws, not statutory laws that put a price on our heads. Your duties are to protect and serve the American people rather than serving the will of the corporations. When your birth certificate was signed, you became United States citizens and were signed over as property of a corporation with your mother as witness. From birth, you are no longer a free American, but are property of the United States of America, Inc. You are slaves. People are working tirelessly through their state assemblies to demand the government, aka corporations, recognize and comply with our founding documents that guarantee our unalienable rights. It is incumbent on you in the positions you wield to assist the people in reestablishing our true de jure government rather than enforcing unjust laws. A good place to start is by questioning the veracity of historical accounts. Start by reading the founding documents and commentaries of that era. Learn about common law and original jurisdiction, and how the establishment of the 10 square mile foreign entity known as Washington, D.C. became the nexus of power and control over the people versus with and for the people. In circa 1871, the people became chattel and a source of income for the corporate entities at every turn, from birth to death. Corporations are operating as a mafia. Important questions for you to answer. Who are you here to serve and protect? The American people or the corrupt corporations? Are you here to enforce the constitutions for the United States of America and the Oregon Constitution with its Article 7 original? Or the man-made corporate ordinances, statutes, and codes which are not the laws of nature and of nature's God? What do you stand for? The American people or the corrupt corporations? Who will you swear an oath to protect, serve, and defend? The American people's common law, de jure government forged by people for people to live in peace, health, and happiness? Or are you satisfied with an oath devoid of God and to corporations acting as government, all the while limiting, controlling, and impoverishing the people they pretend to serve? The issue: protect, defend, and serve the American people and defend our constitutions, or you continue to be manipulated by a fraudulent corporation appearing to be a government. Your choice will result in either reestablishing our true de jure common law Republican form of government or perpetuating the de facto color of law corporations. In the end, either we will all live as free men and women or as increasingly enslaved Americans in their lack of patriotic loyalty to country. Corporations are due to hire, it's in the fold, hire the 80,000 Chinese military-aged male illegal aliens already living in our country, to disarm, arrest, and incarcerate all of you in the same detention camp alongside the American people already arrested. At that point in time, you will realize that you were on the wrong side of freedom, that you chose to serve a corporation instead of the American people, and you were derelict in your duty. You are in violation of General Order 100 to the people for the United States of America. Your choice rests with you. The future of America is in your hands for the thousands of people like me unwilling to settle for how far away we've gone from what is right and just for the people. Always in freedom, Thomas E. Siniskel, Deputy Marshal, Oregon Statewide General Assembly. And he ended it with a quote: "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing." Edmund Burke.
Well read, Charlie. Well written.
Yes.
Charlie, thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, it's a great letter.
Yeah. And it's right above the oath for the sheriffs.
Yes.
Was that an accident, or did the editor design it that way?
The editor made that decision.
I thought so. Yeah. Well done. What a very good job. I noticed I made the front cover.
Yes, you did, in your trench coat.
Yeah. Old
On
man walking in the rain.
A windy day.
Sam took that picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this paper is a real collaboration of our assembly. We care, and we're so glad to put it out so that more people can see it. This has been sent to all the libraries on Oregon, to the city halls, to the sheriffs, to the DAs, and to individuals, and to governance. So it's a good coverage. We hope they look at it and they take it in. It's truth.
Yeah. Well, I think the introduction's over unless somebody else has something more to say. I yield.
Thank you, Ron.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroom, and I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jure Assembly. I have an email to read. I'll bring it up and read it. That should be on screen. It says, do you see all the oaths being taken in public by those incoming de facto United States of Washington District of Columbia persons appointed by President Donald John Trump? And this was sent to these people, sheriffs and members of the Salem oligarchy. I think this is totally on Oregon. I don't think I brought in anybody else. And it says, hello, it is ending. How it turns out is still open to solutions. We, all of us, are having implemented all the prompts written down since 1859, starting with Article 1, Section 1. Article 1, Section 1. I can't believe it. I don't have a card. Yeah. In any case, all power is inherent in the people when they form a social compact. We did that. It was completed November 2022. On Oregon, we will have the proper oaths to the correct Constitution circa 1859 with the laws of nature and nature's God included. Signed, sealed, stamped, witnessed with proof of service, published as is proper. Every sheriff will comply to the requirements and obligations of the office of sheriff. Then the deputies will comply. Then all the counties will comply with proper oaths and contracts with the sheriffs and the office of sheriffs. Good behavior is required to hold office on Oregon. Until our sheriffs are de jure and we have legitimate elections throughout all of Oregon, Article 1, Section 1 will remain the provisional government. All of us must do it, or we may not hold a position of trust. That's what the whole thing's based on. Look at the obvious. Tina broke her oath January 21st, 2021. 89 legislators broke their oaths that day. We were there, locked out. Tina was found to be worthy of a true bill from our grand jury. Our Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record for Article 1, Section 1, the Social Compact on Oregon, found all 89 guilty of breaking their oath, having no honor, and unfit for a position of trust. Those are facts, not one rebuttal. And then I finished the email with living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth, so they're notified. This becomes fact in 30 days without rebuttal. I identify myself to the best of my ability. I put forth what governing law is and identify governing law properly and correctly, the best of my ability. And I finish this off with love, peace, harmony, and a prayer. And I yield. Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jure Assembly. I'm going to share a screen here. This is an email I sent on Proton, which is a legitimate way to serve. And it's a public records violation, ORS 206 violation, oath violations, DPSST, and recorder violations, second and third attempt. When does contempt of common law commence? And this is extended to all here. So who are all here? Starts out with the Washington County Sheriff's Office, goes to Marion County Sheriff's Office, and goes to the internal investigators for the U.S. Marshal Service, an Army Marshal, and the Marine Corps, and the Provost Marshal for the Oregon National Guard, the Superintendent of the Oregon State Police, the FBI, and then a whole bunch of sheriffs and various other important people, such as trial court administrators and district attorneys and judges. Until I ran out of space, I could no longer address people because I can only do 50 at a time. So we start on text. Please take heed, 6.5 years of lawful activity on Oregon from Kate Brown down until now, 3/1/2025, without exception. One step at a time, published at www.orsja.org, incontrovertible evidence in the form of facts. We are here with our 36 sheriffs. The example shown is Washington County. We have added Marion County and several other counties to this. And Kevin Barton is another example. He's the DA for Washington County. Now, how do I make this go down? There we go. And here is the original text that it started out with. Hello, Sharon. Thank you for taking my call. Who schedules Amendment 1 petition for redress of grievance presented by Article 1, Section 1 on Oregon? That is not rhetorical. I called her and asked her about that, and then I had to submit this form to make it legitimate. Let's see. We need to schedule immediately. Emergency. I am CCing Nick and others as both of your offices of sheriff have failed to provide guidelines for our Oregon's marshal to civilian arrest and transport to the county jail for incarceration. If you have no guidelines, you are required to reveal that. Constitutionally, our Article 7 original jurisdiction is valid, and we need to know or create a procedure to implement civilian arrest by order of our Article 1, Section 1, Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record without rebuttal. That is what law is. Anything else is de facto, illegal, or illegitimate, such as Article 7 amended, color of law. Our claims are signed, sealed, stamped, witnessed, proof of service, published at www.orsja.org, YouTube, Brighteon, 3 cable TV without rebuttal. Just what does the Salem oligarchy have to offer? We will need to codify that you can participate or acquiesce to our documentation in fact. Our opinion is supported by 2 constitutions circa 1859, our unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of Americas, laws of nature and of nature's God included, ORS 206, DPSST, County HR, the 60-day grace period has passed. You were posted for 30 days and for 30 days again. Then it times out and it becomes fact in any court. Make your move. It is either or and neither nor, and we will have a de jure sheriff on every county on Oregon. Good, with an oath to the proper Constitution circa 1859, with the laws of nature and of nature's God included, or evil on the side away from good, and men and women with our progeny, corporate on the side that accepts or acquiesces to no God, Satan, communism at all, anything less than our constitutional Republican form of de jure government on the land and soil under God. And I put this as living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth, and I identified myself completely. I identified what governing law is, and I set forth the conditions. And this makes the fourth time, I think it's the fourth time that I've requested this information from the Washington County and Marion County sheriffs. I've also requested this information from the U.S. Marshals. And that was 2 years ago. I also requested that they provide us with their textbook on how to be a U.S. Marshal, and they would not cooperate. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying, and then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.